Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to British versus American school. Now, this is going to be really interesting and fun for me personally because I spent 3 years as a teacher working in, honestly, if I had to guess, almost 50 different schools. I did cover teaching because I found the prospect of staying in one school, in one class for a whole year, I found that quite unappealing, quite boring. I wanted to bounce around many different schools, see how schools differ, meet different people, and I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. Obviously, teachers don't make amazing money, which is why I went back, because my original degree was was business with law. Then I decided to become a teacher because I kind of was disillusioned with working in law, worked in teaching for a few years, realized I could make quite a bit more money as a paralegal. Then I did that. So yeah, this is gonna be really cool just to see the differences between, schools here and schools over there. Just because, on the face of it, our cultures are so similar. We speak the same language, we do a lot of the same things, but because you guys have more land, I imagine your schools are larger, maybe your classes are then larger too, maybe you've got more than one teacher per class, I don't know. So it should be fun to answer all these questions I've got. This should be interesting. Let's do it.
Hi there everybody, so today I'm here with my friend Emma Blackery.
You just turned that on, huh?
Just
you
like
just
you.
turned that, excuse me.
And today we're going to be talking about the differences between schools in the US and the UK, because I find it really interesting having been to both schools. Is that a spider? Baby spider. One of the first things that I noticed that's really weird about British schools is that you guys have a really short summer vacation.
But you, really?
Yeah.
Like ours goes from the beginning of June until the beginning of September.
Oh, wow.
Wow, so you have June, all of July, all of August. So you get 3 solid months. Here you get 6 weeks tops. Here it's end of July to the start of September. So yeah, maybe 6 weeks. It's about 5.5 weeks really.
Oh.
Like 3
So,
full
you get
months.
3 full months off.
Yeah, of just
That was
nothing.
then
Wow.
End of July.
Yeah, I saw people tweeting me earlier this month going, "Oh, I'm back in school," and I'm like, "It's the middle of the summer."
We have 6 weeks. It's called the 6 weeks holiday.
That's
Yeah.
That's
I
just
just
what we
don't.
call it. Summer holidays or 6 weeks holidays. It's 6
Americans
weeks.
better never complain about their summer break. The only reason we have it so long is because we used to have to work with our parents in the fields back in the day,
What?
and now we just play
Minnesota.
video games. No,
No.
that'd be in the South, not Minnesota.
Where's Minnesota?
The North, that's like Canada. When I went to school in America, I found it really easy, but I didn't know it at the time because when I took classes, I was graded on participation. So 10 to 20% of my course was just if I raised my hand.
Seriously, you got graded.
What? Hold on a minute. So just putting your hand up, not answering the question correctly, gets you grades. You get graded just because you put your hand up. Wow.
You don't putting your hand up. I would have failed.
So if you put your hand up and ask questions, you get extra points. Yeah, on your final grade.
What?
If you do your homework, you get an extra 20% just by doing it. Yeah.
You had it so easy. We have to do that for free.
Then you get 20% for quizzes, so
like
any little
pop
quizzes.
and stuff, yeah.
30% for tests.
30% of your
Only
grade was
30.
tests.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm confused here. When he says 30%, what? So if you just take the test, you get 30 extra points. I need to understand exactly what he means.
And then sometimes it'd be 10 to 20% for projects.
Ours is projects, yeah.
So if you do a
That's
big project.
pretty much what we'd call coursework.
Let's say you fail a test, they're going to average all together, and with the participation, the homework, and the quizzes, you're fine. You're still going to be.
Our coursework grade varies, I think. I think mine was worth 20% of my grade. I think some courses is worth 40%, but it's coursework and exams.
Yeah,
that's
That's it. The majority is
Which
always
is
exams.
stressful as heck.
Yeah.
Because when I went to school here, it was 20% coursework and 80% test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I failed my test, I failed the course.
The coursework.
Yeah, I mean, you should have studied, son. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, here, exams are usually, it's very rare that you'll be on a course, whether it's a degree or anything like that, where it is all just coursework or assignments, as you guys would call it. You still are going to take a big exam at the end or submit a dissertation, a thesis. There's going to be some kind of big test at the end.
Matter.
No.
You could have got an A in your coursework,
I did.
and you get an E in your test, you'll average at a C overall, even if you worked really hard on your coursework.
But the thing was, when I first moved here, I thought it was going to be really easy because I was like, wait, you just have to have 50% to pass? I have a 90% average in America. This is going to be so... It wasn't easy at all. It was, oh my god.
Well, the thing is, like, loads of people get, like, massive anxiety attacks over
That's
tests
true.
now because it relies on that so much and getting a good grade that when they get into the exam, they panic and then they do badly. So the results that people get don't actually reflect how good and clever someone actually is at that subject.
I never cheated, though, okay?
Oh, I did. I cheated my technology GCSE.
Really?
There was a kid who sat next to me who was really smart. Thank you, Daniel.
I'm gonna be honest, I did not prepare for one of my tests. And I came in and I was like, ma'am, I'm here for the test. And she was like, you're an hour late. And I was like, I have explosive diarrhea.
Is America, like, basically here, when people are doing exams, it's usually in a big hall and there'll be rows and rows of desks, and you'll have usually about 5 invigilators who will walk up and down in between the desks to make sure nobody's cheating. Like, is it like that in the States? Do you have people walking up and down, like, inspecting people, you know? Or do you have a bit more freedom to, like, write notes on your hand and, like, cheat and stuff?
Did they let you in?
They just made me go to the doctors and they told me I had food poisoning and then I didn't have to resit.
You didn't have to resit?
No.
So you just passed the test?
This is
because
ridiculous.
You said you had explosive diarrhea. I remember being at school, and anytime we had a male teacher, if we just wanted a break, we'd say, you know, oh, can I go to the toilet? And then the teacher would be like, well, you just came back from lunch. And then all I'd have to go is, I'm on my period.
So I went to 2 different high schools as a teenager, and the first one I went to had lockers where you kind of had to put all of your stuff. You weren't allowed to have a backpack because someone might be carrying a gun.
Wow.
Look at America, man.
So you had to only carry books in the hallway, and you had to keep all your other books in your locker. And because you had 9 classes every semester,
so you got to carry all these books.
Like a nerd carrying like 3 things of books, and then people would walk by and slap them out of your hands. It was literally like, you guys don't have cheerleaders. You had no.
But why not just have, like, some kind of, I don't know, one of those thingies that you walk through at the airport that can scan your bag, you know, to see if there's anything. Having to carry all these textbooks all day, God, that'd be really annoying. Did you guys have to do that when you were at high school?
None of that fun
Oh,
stuff.
no, God, no cheerleading.
Why?
No. We don't have teams. We didn't even, we had like one, I think we had like a school, like football, soccer team, but no one was in it. No one cared.
Well, like,
No
because
schools
whoever's
have, like,
on the American football team in high school is cool. And then the cheerleaders are cool. And everyone supports the team, even if they don't like the
You guys have
sport.
like jocks and stuff. We
Yeah.
don't have that sort of clique.
That's weird.
We just don't have
Question, were you graded in PE?
that. Yes.
Yeah.
What were you graded on in the UK?
I still don't know. We actually had a theory exam.
So typically, or how I taught PE in primary school is every 6 weeks, or every half term, you will work on a specific technique. Like, let's say you're doing trampolining, you'll be working on like the seat drop. So that's where your body's like an L shape and you bounce on the trampoline and you land on your feet like that, like in a stationary motion. So you'll basically teach that for 6 weeks, and you know, you'll grade each student based on how well they can execute the technique. That's how we taught PE, and at least in primary school level. Like, this is a low, like year 2 level. So like, we're talking 6-year-olds.
What?
Yeah, we had a test to
The
take
theory
as well.
of physical education.
Yes. Like calories and muscle and all that stuff. Yeah, we had. My school did. I don't know if everyone's school did.
Ours was 20% if you're wearing the right colored clothing. Like, our school was
No
orange and blue.
way.
So if you were wearing orange shorts and like a blue shirt, you got 20% of your
Is he joking, guys? Is he exaggerating? Please tell me he is. Please, I can't believe this.
grade. And the other 80% was just participating, which was just being there.
That's amazing. See, I would have failed both of those because orange and blue is not my.
Wow.
You're one of
not
those people
my
that just
thing.
kind of stands there and goes.
I was the kid who sat there, just watched everyone else run.
I was the guy that was like, "Come on,
I
guys!"
somehow got a B.
Wow.
I got a B, and
I
I
would've cried.
never turned up, and I was the most unfit person.
At one point, they did grade us on our physical fitness, and at one point, you had to stretch and see if you could touch your toes. And I can't touch my toes.
I
I'm
can't
tall
touch
as
my
heck.
toes. Yeah, I
so I got
can't.
an F.
Because you couldn't touch
I
your
couldn't
toes.
touch my toes. And there was also a thing you had to run a mile. I ran the mile in like 11 minutes, and they were like, that's okay for women. A woman would get an A, but as a man, I had to get 7 minutes to get an A. And I was like, that's not fair. I have a very feminine body.
Sexist.
You probably couldn't say that today. Oh, you'd get in all sorts of trouble.
You have nice womanly curves.
I do. Have you seen these hips?
I have seen your hips. They are fabulous.
They never
You're
lie.
missing out because you don't see the hips. We've all seen what you look like at school.
This was my ID.
We've all seen the photo.
You guys had prom though. I just found out. I thought it
Yeah,
was
we
just
did
an American
have prom. Yeah, but that's like an imported American thing that we don't really.
Yeah.
Thanks for this. And walked away.
Thanks for the bonus. We have this thing called option. We have to choose 2 subjects to carry on with at GCSE.
Yeah.
And there's things like languages and like you can take full-time PE and stuff. I took French and media studies.
We had loads of those.
I don't know
They're
if you
called.
get to choose. I don't.
I picked English language and drama. Man, I had so much fun in drama. Nobody really took it seriously. I feel so bad for my teacher now that I think, if you're watching this, Miss Steele, I'm so sorry.
They were called electives. We had electives.
I've never heard that.
And every quarter of the year, so you get 4 different electives if you had a lot of open quarters.
my school had 2.
You had to do mandatory math, you had to do mandatory science for 3 years, a language for 2 years, and like English for every year. But then you had a lot of extra electives. So I took a course called Plants for Pleasure and Profit. I
Wow.
learned about plants. Like I said, I went to a very rural school. But I also took courses like
So you were literally
home
Neville
ec.
Longbottom.
Plants for pleasure and profit. Sounds like how to be how to grow cannabis or something.
In university, though, the way that school works in university in America is you take everything. I'm a math major, but I have like courses in Japanese, German, piano, acting. I did Western Civilizations 1 and 2,
You
ethics.
were Japanese?
I took a year of Japanese, yeah, because I could.
Are you any good at it?
Ohayou gozaimasu. Evan desu. Ron daigaku no gakusei desu. Hajimemashita.
Wow.
Did you just say thanks for this in Japanese? Is that-
I liked that because I wasn't stressed out about all these crazy math courses the whole time. I got to take other courses in fun things that I wanted to learn. Whereas in England, once you commit at like 17, it's like, I am now the
I'm
math
doing
guy.
this for 4 years of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. And that's why I feel like people get stressed out a bit more in England. Like, when I was in America, I used to think people complaining about tests and stuff in England were just complaining.
Oh,
like,
no.
oh, wow. Oh, and as soon as I moved here, I was like, I'm so sorry.
But there are, like, if let's say you take maths at uni, yes, it's going to be 3-4 years of solid maths, but there are tons of societies at uni that you can join where every week you could do, I don't know, football, chess, drama. There's tons of things. So it's not like you're just going to be doing the one thing you chose to study. There are still things. Mate, uni's a blast, man. I look back on my uni days as so much fun.
So
Education
sorry
system
for
is
you.
awful.
My number one pet peeve when it comes to university in England is that they give you a month period before your finals. Like, when I finished my coursework and courses in December, they were like, have a fun Christmas break. When you come back, you're taking finals. So I couldn't enjoy my
You
Christmas
can't-
break.
There is no Christmas
You know,
break.
eating a Christmas pudding, having fun with friends and just sitting there like, I have
Dread.
an exam soon.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting everything slowly. You have to revise every day.
Yeah.
In America, I would wait till the last day before the exam and then give you a review and say, here's the review for the exam. You memorize it, you go in, all of the things are roughly the same, A+.
Wait, review for the exam?
They'll give you a review with like, here's what's going to be talked about. And most of the part, if it's math,
You get like a...
But hold on a minute. Then what's the point in, like, if they're going to give you the answers straight up, how have you demonstrated true understanding of what has been taught? Like, if they're going to just give you the answers to memorize and then you take the test. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if I agree with that. I'd rather they give you maybe a large volume of info that contains the answers, but not so directly that you then have to find and retain key information and hope that it's in the exam. I know it sounds a bit cruel, but maybe it's because that's what I went through.
hint
No.
of what
Yeah.
is gonna...
Yeah. And the thing is, in
We
America,
just have to guess what parts of our curriculum
Yeah.
we plucked
no,
out.
they'll mostly put one of everything, and they'll be really explicit in like, here's a good problem that if you can do this, you can do it on the exam later.
So
But-
you don't even really have to revise like crazy.
No, you don't.
You
I
get
never
that
revised.
review and then
Dude.
just memorize
Yeah, how
Those
does it go?
It sounds
And you're
too
good. And I
easy.
think that makes sense though, because you're being tested on your ability to do these problems. You shouldn't have to go memorize this entire book and then we'll choose the one that you weren't good
I want
at.
to go back in time and study in America.
In England, you guys have a gap year, which I think is
Yeah.
amazing. You
Mine
can't do
started as a gap year, and then it became like a 5-year gap year.
I think if I was in England, I would have taken a gap year. That sounds like the coolest thing to be able to go out and travel and
Yeah,
do
but you have to
something.
like earn your own money and stuff. Like you still
Yeah.
have to have a job and do it. It's not a case of the government
Oh.
going, "Here's £20,000. Go and
Yeah.
have fun, kids."
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
I thought
like,
that's
you
how it
have
was
to-
actually.
No, they don't just give you money. You have to like.
Oh.
It's just like not doing anything.
In America, you
It's so funny. Like when I was at uni, most of the people that went on gap years were like the really posh, rich ones. Like, yeah, so my gap year, Daddy sent me to Nepal and to the Maldives, and I trekked Mount Kilimanjaro. Yeah, like I didn't go on a gap year. I just studied my 3 years and just bounced.
can't do that because once you graduate from high school, if you do not go to university the next year, you lose all scholarship, all of it.
So you have to start from.
You
What is
cannot-
scholarship?
Like
You
I
don't
was,
have that.
I
as
was
far
in
as
the
know.
top 15% of my class, so I got I think $5,000 off my next year of university, and then the next year I
Nice.
got $8,000 off.
So you get money off of your tuition.
That's
fees. You're
awesome.
Smart.
Yes, I was because I was did so well in school in America. I got to do community college for free. I went to school for free
Wow.
from the university for the first 2 years.
Please send me back in time
Well,
And to America.
I mean,
to Minnesota.
if you weren't in the top 10% though, you're screwed.
I would have been in the top 10. What are you saying?
We don't have school uniforms at almost any school I've ever been to.
How much is college in America? Because I know that Ivy League colleges like Harvard and Yale, they can be really expensive, right? Like including accommodation, food, all of that stuff. Are we talking sort of like for an Ivy League college, 50 grand a year, something like that? So for a 4-year degree, 200K, something like that. Here, it's like you're paying 9 grand a year in terms of tuition. Accommodation, let's say 5 grand. Food and all that sort of stuff for a year, let's call that another 3 grand. Am I being... Yeah, let's say 3 grand. So all in per year, 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 9 is 17. So 17K per year. So it's, yes, still probably cheaper. But how much is community college? Community college surely is a lot cheaper than Ivy League college, right?
Too. I like that because I don't know, I can wear whatever I want.
To be you, but I mean, they say that in defense of it, they say it prepares you for the real world when you have to go into
No.
an office and wear a shirt. And
I've never
look the
had
same. But
a job where I needed to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had 3 professional jobs and all of them are business casual. I've worn this to work before.
Lucky
Every day I
you.
can wear whatever I want.
Man, when I was a paralegal, suit and tie every day, apart from Fridays, where you could walk in with maybe like a sweater like this, kind of. But yeah, to be honest, it is kind of nice wearing a suit sometimes.
There are some jobs in London where you have to wear a suit.
Yeah,
But
if you're
they're
like
very, very
investment banking,
rare.
I don't have to be prepared to wear a uniform. Like it's not like school is going to teach me that wearing a uniform, I can wear whatever I want. I'm just a kid.
Exactly. If anyone goes to school in the UK, you know that girl that just wears trousers instead of.
I don't
That
wear
was me.
hats.
I
wear
didn't wear hats either. I wore this secondhand blazer. Oh yeah, you never had to wear blazers.
The thing is, when I think of wearing a
Ties,
blazer,
ah.
it makes me feel really fancy. And I was like, yeah, wearing a
Oh,
blazer. And I
no.
remember tweeting like, I love wearing blazers. And someone went, looks like you're just going to school, mate. I was like, because I never had to wear one.
You can't wear blazers without being reminded of the crippling
can.
education system.
Oh, our spider friend's back.
Oh, there he is.
No! Don't do it! Thank you. Thank you. So in terms of going to college, you need to make up your minds whether or not you should go.
Fun video.
I don't get.
Super fun video. I based on what I heard, like there are a couple of things obviously that I would take from the US system. A longer summer holiday maybe I'm trying to think of what else. Maybe slightly less emphasis on a final exam. Maybe like you distribute it a little bit more evenly. So as opposed to having like an exam that's worth 70% of the grade at the end, maybe you have another piece of coursework that maybe takes 30%. So you've got 2 pieces of coursework at 30% each, and then an exam at 40%. But other than that, I think I still prefer the UK system, honestly. I don't like the fact that they just give you, like if you've got an exam coming up, they just give you the answers pretty much. you just have to retain the answers in your brain and then just regurgitate them on the exam paper. Because to me, that doesn't really demonstrate a real understanding of the info, of the subject that you've studied. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Like, also the participation grades. So just putting your hand in the air to answer a question. Let me know, guys, is this accurate or was he kind of exaggerating a little bit? Let me know, because to me, the thought of handing out additional grades just because somebody put their hand up, it's quite easy to game that system, because you could just put your hand up, you haven't got a clue what the teacher asked, just say anything and you get the grade. Or is it not quite that simple? Let me know, guys, but this was a really fun video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.